Hey everybody, my name is Joe Capobianco. Welcome to an episode of Not For Nothing. I am back in Connecticut, and I am fortunate enough to have a young woman here who's got kind of a history in, that didn't sound good, but you do have a bit of a history in Connecticut. So why don't you tell everybody who you are and where you work? And
my name's Jen Flatts. I own Flatts Tattoos in Groton, Connecticut, which is about 40 minutes from New Haven. So.
How long have you been tattooing?
Well, I say I've been tattooing professionally for about 17, 18 years, but I mean, I grew up in the shop, so I think I did my first tattoo on my dad when I was like 6.
Jesus.
So and I tattooed his girlfriend when I was like 15.
So did your dad open Flats or?
Yeah, he started Flats. I think it was like in a trailer in the 80s, but then it was like official in like 91.
And it's always been in like the New London area?
Always been in Groton, yeah.
In Groton.
Yeah, I think in the prime.
I always make the mistake of it.
Yeah,
Groton
New London County.
London,
yeah. I mean, in the prime of like his tattoo shops, I think he had 3 or 4. But that was like when you had to have a doctor sponsor. So like if you didn't work at a shop, you couldn't work anywhere. So like once you got in to a shop, you were like staying there.
The doctor thing always weirded me out. Like when we first opened up Hope in 2003, we were downtown. I knew you had to get a doctor. I talked to my doctor.
Yeah. And
we reached out to the health, because it took us a few weeks to build the place. And I reached out to the health department a couple of times. Never heard from them.
Nothing. Yeah.
And I was like, cool, whatever, And I guess against me, I did not get the doctor's note at that time. So, but my guy would do it, and
who knows what it was for? I feel like you're just paying somebody to
and that's
use
exactly
their
it.
license. Yeah.
My doctor charged me $500 to write a fucking letter.
Right.
And he didn't even come to the shop. He was just like, here you go.
Right.
And the health department, one time I was in Europe, and I get back from Europe after being gone for 2 weeks. I guess the health department showed up while I was away, and there was a restaurant that just opened up downstairs. This is 2 years into our business.
Right.
Opens up downstairs. There's a health department issue down there. So he shows up, sees on the marquee, there's a tattoo shop upstairs, comes up, and he's like, how long have you guys been here? And Julio's just like, we've been here for fucking 2 years, man. He's like, well, I need to talk to the owner. And they're like, well, you're going to have to talk to Joe. Now, keep in mind, these are my partners.
Right.
You're going to have to talk to Joe about that.
Please don't bother me.
So when I get home, I make a couple of phone calls.
Yeah.
Again, leaving messages, no response.
Just nothing.
One day, about, 6 months in, restaurant downstairs has another complaint. The guy shows up and he goes, I'm going to have to shut you down. I'm like, for what? And I knew what he was there for. I got the letter at that point.
Yeah.
And I walked in the back. I pulled the letter. I'm like, is this what you're looking for? He takes a look at the letter and he goes, okay. And he hands it back. I'm like, do you want a copy of it? He goes, no. And he left.
Right.
I haven't seen the health department since.
I feel like now it's even worse because you can't even get anyone on the phone because you just pay online.
Yep.
For your whatever. And like people, like their apprentice people, there's people they're not fucking checking anything. No. So like you have all these people that are getting their tattoo license, never had an apprenticeship, never done anything.
Oh, New Haven just passed a thing where, the state has individual licenses.
Right.
And now New Haven they're trying to bang us for every artist.
Okay, so our town in Groton just did the same thing. But yeah, no, our county or Groton, whatever, now they want me to pay, it's like $300 a year. They just want the shop to be licensed through the town.
Exactly. So I think because the state is charging individuals, I think maybe,
the town
which is shocking. Which is shocking
to me. Little piece, yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing that now. But the problem being is, I know for a fact in New Haven, the health department here, it's 2 people, and they handle nail salons, barbershops, restaurants,
and you're all mushed in.
Yeah.
I haven't seen. We had the town people come in every year. I've never seen anyone from the state.
I know. So I know that like Brantford, East Haven, because my wife works in Brantford. East Haven is dark side. Their health department's on point. Like they check everything. Everybody here is licensed. It's just.
Oh yeah.
It's just.
But no, I just never see anyone from the state. Ever since they did that, I've never had anybody come in.
All right, so enough local politics. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were talking about your dad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's like an old school biker guy. I feel like that was most of his clientele starting.
Right.
You do like all the bike weeks and stuff like that. And officially started Flatts Tattoo Incorporated in 1991.
Oh, shit, okay.
And it was just in a small little place right next to a bar. And then I feel like by the time we hit like 99, he had like 10, 12 people working.
So when did you started in 91 or he started that in 91?
He started in 91.
I was going to say, 'cause you're not that old.
I was a baby,
so,
yeah.
I was going to say.
So I was born in 86, so I remember being little.
I graduated high school in 86.
I'm like, oh, I'm almost 40. But it's like someone other day was like, how long have you been tattooing? And I'm like, oh shit, it's been like, I'm getting close to 20 years soon.
That's phenomenal.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I took over the shop 10 years ago.
So did he?
10 or 11 years ago.
Did he retire? Did he?
Yeah, he still tattoos a little bit, but he still used 10-pound time machines and tiny little tubes,
It's funny because the old school guys, when you see those pictures of these guys gloveless with those little tiny
pencil grips,
there'll be a pencil grips that they made and stuff. I tried, when I first started tattooing, I tried using those. I mean, when you don't know any better,
the weight balance is crazy. Well, I remember we used to have to clean everyone's tubes, and I remember when they were getting bigger, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But then they weighed as much as your machine.
Yeah, and if you got aluminum, you had to worry about anodizing them when the sterilization. So there was a lot of really bad things about that.
Right.
And now,
I feel does anyone use hard tubes anymore?
Oh, believe it or not, a lot of my friends that are still using.
I still have my coils, but I'll rip them with disposable tubes.
Same here. I'm using disposables. I got rid of all my steel back in. I mean, I was still up here in this station up front, so it must have been around 2010, maybe 12 that I got rid of them, and I've sold them to Julio, and I think he just sold them a couple of years ago.
They last forever. I mean, I think I gave all mine away.
I'll be honest with you, it bothers me a little bit now because when we think about how much waste is in the business.
Yeah.
And you sit there and you go, just reusing your tubes would cut down on half.
My apprentices use my tubes because I'm I'm not buying you guys, disposables to practice on whatever. So they use my stuff, and then same thing, needle on bar is so much cheaper.
Yep. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's better.
I know, if I'm doing a big outline, that's a pull out of.
I'm still lining. I'm lining mainly with my transverse machines, which they look like Cubans, side mounted rotary. But I use needles on the bar, and I use disposable tubes, obviously. Or I'll use my coils.
Same, yeah. I have those little the first bishops that you could use needle on bar.
Oh yeah.
I probably have 10 of those fucking things.
Oh, well, so dude, I got friends that I sold those machines to.
Yeah.
I think Timmy's from here. He uses a couple of old bishops. I think he uses my old Betty machine that I had made with Bishop.
The
lead machine.
Yeah.
I think he still uses one of those. I know Eric. Dude, it's funny too because the motors on those, I was told you're lucky to get 2 years.
Right.
Dude, these motherfuckers have been using those.
Mine crank.
Yeah.
I still actually have old pulse machines.
Oh yeah, that's
super old.
It's funny. When I pulled all my old coils out. And I had to replace the rubber, the rubber O-rings and stuff on them because they'd all dry rotted. But I'll be honest with you, out of all the machines that I own, those pulse machines right out of the fucking gate did nothing, worked wonderfully. Everything else, I kind of had to retune because they were already kind of I had an old Aaron Kane that just hits a little too soft for me now.
Yeah.
Because you use rotaries for so long, it changes the way you tattoo.
I have an old Vlad iron one that hits like a hammer, and I bought it when I was dabbling in permanent makeup. And it's for single needle and threes. No, this fucking thing is a hammer.
So I bought one. Everybody raved about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to get myself one of these. Fuck that machine.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Fuck people up with that shit.
Yeah, dude, it is the hardest hitting machine.
Who's using a single needle for this thing?
It reminds me of the old Shag Built, the first rotaries that Shag Built was making.
Yeah.
Which were the direct drive fucking nightmares.
Yeah.
Dude, because I was using, most people were using steel back then. I'm using disposables. Dude, literally, I hooked that machine up, turned it on, and the needle dug through the front of the tube. I couldn't even use it.
Yeah.
I ended up I think I gave one of them. I think I still have one, but I gave one away to Adrian Dominic when he was guesting here fucking 15 years ago, because it was just too hard to hit.
I still have it, but
yeah. It's not they go bad too.
No, I know.
So.
Yeah.
So your dad goes to a proper brick and mortar,
right? It got so big. I feel like so many people that age of tattooing. That was, I feel the best. You're busy all day. You just have to show up.
Yep.
And we were his shop just had flash everywhere.
Yep.
And because people would come into your shop and sell you flash.
Yep.
And I remember being an apprentice having to trace everything because then we had a big file cabinet with all the outlines. So you could just rip shit off the wall and go get your number or whatever.
We did the same thing. So the shop I started tattooing in '93. And the same thing, big file cabinet,
Yep.
and you would go in the front room. If you didn't have, like, he had most of the lines for everything, so there was a file folder for everything. But as you started getting new flash, a lot of places didn't. A lot of people didn't sell them the
Do
lines.
the outlines, yeah.
So I'd have to make the lines up.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then once I stopped apprenticing and was tattooing, I started right out of the gate fast. It was only a month long, so I maybe outlined a couple of dozen sheets.
Oh yeah.
And then it came to the point where it's like, got to pull it off the wall, put it on the light table, do your line drawing,
right,
and then save it. And then back then, we even saved the stencil.
Yeah,
like
I feel
the guy was so fucking cheap.
If we didn't use a stencil, or if you made extras and it was still whatever, and chuck it in there.
Oh no, you even used it. Even if you used it, he's like, well, don't throw that stencil away. You can put it in the file. And
that's like my dad still uses speed stick.
Yeah, so I did speed stick up until probably 90. Man, shit, it might be up until 2000.
Yeah, he still uses it when he busts out and tattoos his buddies. It's got his same setup. His fucking power box, someone custom made it for him.
Right.
It's like a microwave. I don't know how this fucking thing works, but he's had it for 40 years.
Well, again, built to last, man.
Yeah, his same foot pedal he's had. It fucking weighs probably 20 pounds.
Yep. So I will admit my original foot pedal that I'd gotten maybe 6 months in. I had gotten, it was a big Singer sewing machine foot pedal, cast iron, black cast iron. I used that thing forever. I used that till I stopped using a foot pedal because my hip got so bad. But I mean, it had to be at least 20 some odd years. Never, wires never broke on it, nothing, you know.
Even I was just talking to my apprentice. We have like a shop apprentice, and we're talking about making needles, and I'm like, man, I feel like I made needles until 2006 or 7.
That would have been, that's
like
crazy.
I feel like I still made needles for the whole shop, cleaning tubes, making needles.
Well, I mean, so me personally, I know we did needles up until about 2002. My wife used to make my needles. Her needles were impeccable.
So good, yeah.
And I used to buy most of my needles from 90. So I never learned, like the guy who apprenticed me never taught me how to make a needle.
Yeah.
So we were using Dermographics and Unimax at the time. I think Unimax were like $3 a needle.
Right.
And so we were using those. When I met my wife in 97, she started making my needles because she would, every morning she'd have the same routine where she'd get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, make needles from 10:30 straight to opening. And then originally they went into the autoclave, she got showered up, and then she started working as soon as they were done. And she was just like, oh, you don't make your own needles? And I'm like, no, I don't. And so she started making my needles.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the difference.
Right. Well, you can get them how you want them every time.
Exactly. That's where I first started using carbon steel needles versus, stainless steel needles. Yeah. And again, this is the one reason I tell people, try different stuff. Like cartridges don't really allow you to do much.
No, because you can't really see or play with it until you open it.
Exactly.
So.
And even then, you don't have the option of carbon.
Yeah.
Which, again, I get. Like, carbon's a pain in the ass. They don't look good coming out of the car. Because all of them had to be dipped in a bit of Vaseline, put in the paper. So now when it comes out of the autoclave, the paper's all fucking stained and nasty. And people are looking at you like, what the fuck is... it's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's good, So, but, so when did you actually start your apprenticeship?
I feel like... Because my dad obviously owned a business and he had a kayak store too. I feel like he would just move us around wherever he needed labor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like I was always, making stencils, making needles, cleaning tubes. Like,
so while
someone gave me $20.
It wasn't an apprenticeship, you were just in the shop.
I lived there. Yeah, I was there all the time. And I feel like my first, apprentice was like, I was getting ready to obviously graduate high school. And I was like, oh, I want to go to art college. And my dad's like, I ain't paying for you to go to college. And he's like, you're already working at the shop. I was piercing. It was like piercing. And back then, piercings were like super crazy.
Yeah, it was
making
big.
so much money. And he's like, why don't you just start an apprenticeship and then, you do art every day. He's like, you're already here, like living here.
Right. And not for nothing. I mean, back then you can't say that there wasn't a job in art if you wanted it.
Right.
If you applied yourself to it because it was so early on. But
even back then, you could see, what job are you going to get?
Yeah.
If you're not going to become an artist in your own right and you're selling your own art, what are you going to do? Be a high school teacher?
Exactly. And if you don't have an idea if that's what you want to do, then
right.
It's tough. Like when I was, in high school, I was airbrushing. So I made a living doing that. And then me and a friend opened up a little airbrush stand at some high-end flea market, and we did that for several years, and that's when I met Cliff, and I started my apprenticeship 2 years later. But I mean, I've been very fortunate in the sense that I've always done art as a job, but it was not traditional in any way, shape, or form. Like painting, airbrushing T-shirts and fucking and jackets. You can make a good living doing it. Now I couldn't imagine. I
don't know how that works with the computer stuff.
Yeah, now it's all carny. If you're doing it, it's a goof on a pier somewhere.
Yeah, like Six Flags. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
And if anybody out there is doing it, like fucking like drop a line. I'd love to see what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I feel like a lot of that stuff's getting lost just because of technology.
Most certainly. A friend of mine, this guy named Eric Corrales, and I'll put his information maybe down below. But he's the guy who got me into airbrushing in high school back in, I think, 84, 85, I started airbrushing. And it was because of him painting on the wall at the high school.
Oh,
he did this, he did portraits of the 3 art teachers in our high school. And then he did this giant Eddie Maiden, I mean, no lie, like 15-foot or 20-foot Eddie Maiden from the first album. I don't know how the fuck the school let him do it.
Yeah,
black and gray. It was beautiful, And I started airbrushing after seeing him. He just got back into painting jackets. And he is fucking killing it.
It's so cool.
It's amazing. So it's like, I don't think it's lost. I just think it's underappreciated.
Yeah, it's effort too.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, so the shop apprentices, I make them trace everything on a light table. Because I still light table. It's just a habit. Like if I'm trying to figure out a design, I have to like scribble it out. I'm not good at the tablet stuff. Maybe because I'm just being lazy and I don't want to learn.
It's to be honest, it takes time, but yeah, I was the same way.
Right, but they're really good because that's how they learn in art, in high school or whatever. They all have tablets.
But you're making them go through.
Making them just trace it. And like your line work's can be a lot better if you just hand, get a little feel for it.
I think another thing that I think people don't realize is when you're light tabling stuff on with pen and paper. You're right. Your hand motion is completely different than with a tablet.
Yeah.
Where I think that if you're doing it with pen and paper, you're already creating the hand motion that you need. When you work on a tablet, and again, I'm sure people are going to argue this because they've never done paper and pencil, but you have to make allowances working with the tablet with the pen.
Right.
Where on paper it's like you've got that.
Feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a hard time with tablet stuff, and it's just me being stubborn and not putting the time into it. But
and I think also, to the credit of a coil machine or a needle on the bar versus like say a pen.
Yeah.
Or mainly pens. You lack that. What I always compare it to is the armature and the tip of the needle on the skin, and there's that force that you feel when it buries. You can just
feel the throw, yeah.
Yeah, because I just started using a different pen. No, I didn't just start using it. It was given to me. And I don't want to say as a courtesy to the person who gave it to me. It kind of was, because I wasn't asking for it. Thank you, Emerson, by the way. But as soon as I used that machine, I'm like, fuck, this is so different. Because it was like literally going back to painting, like tattooing on air.
Yeah.
Where you don't feel any...
Right.
You don't
I feel
hear
like
anything.
When you first try a new machine, I'm like, why is this not going in the skin? And then I have to remember I have to actually change. Yeah, it's different.
And that's something, again, I think that a lot of people... So are you training your apprentices with a coil to start?
Needle on bar.
Needle on the bar. That's smart.
I mean, I don't know how else to do it. I mean, I have artists who never had apprenticeship. They just bought machines and rip and roar,
Right. Well, that's the world we live in nowadays.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a crazy time.
Crazy to me, yeah. I mean, but then it's like, how do you know when you're ready? You just fucking...
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think anybody who spent 3 months tattooing in their fucking parents' basement going into a private studio 6 months later...
Right, is wild to me. Because, I had a really hard apprenticeship. I had to, double prove myself.
Right.
There was a guy apprenticing at the same time as me. We both started, and he got a station before me.
Wow, your dad didn't... Yeah. There was no favoritism.
No, he was like, fuck you. And then, when I finally was able to tattoo, they didn't have a station for me. I had to go to every shop, a different day of the week.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So he really didn't give a shit.
No, it's not nice. No.
Well, it's so that, to be honest with you, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is because you are second generation, and there's a lot of that out there.
Yeah.
I'm certain. But you're second generation female tattooer, which is kind of a big fucking deal, especially in a state like Connecticut, where were there any other? I personally
we had
don't
one
know
lady
back
that worked
then.
with us. Her name was Dawn. I remember her.
Right.
And can't remember if she had an apprenticeship or not, but she had just kind of started. She was a painter, and she had a crazy look to her, like bodybuilder, crazy tattoos and stuff. And
she was into some weird shit too. So.
Some weird shit. But my dad was like, "Oh, that could be like that's a niche thing," and but like just treated her like everyone else.
Right.
And I think if she fit in great, didn't have any problem getting clientele.
I think, well, she also, like you said, she definitely had a niche. And I think, so there was Gypsy at Body Graphics, and that would have been, I want to say late 80s.
I remember my dad used to talk about Julie Moon all the time.
Julie's up in New Hampshire at the time, and now she's down in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But what I meant in Connecticut itself, like Connecticut proper.
I can't remember who my dad apprenticed under. Oh, I wish I could remember, because I remember him spieling all the time. But he did have an apprenticeship with somebody. Yeah. And it was in Connecticut.
Right.
And
because back then you had Inker was kind of a big thing.
God, I can't remember.
You had what's his name down in was he in Bridgeport or Norwalk? What's his face? He died a couple of years ago. Big old biker dude. Why can I not fucking remember his name?
The Spider guy?
Not Spiderweb. Spiderweb did do time here. I
can't remember.
And then you had Bill Loika and
I remember Loika.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of tattoo history.
Right.
Jim from whatchamacallit from Lucky Soul actually put together a show at the local town hall in Stratford, I think it was, and he did a thing on the history of tattooing in Connecticut, and it was pretty. It's pretty in depth.
There's a lot, yeah.
Because I think Connecticut was this weird spot because you couldn't tattoo in Massachusetts.
Right.
And if you didn't tattoo in New York, and then once it got banned in New York, you either went to Long Island, New Jersey, or Connecticut.
Yeah.
So
well, you're in between Boston and New York, so.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's how my dad got stuck there, because we're right next to the military base. So that, you're right next to a Navy and Coast Guard.
It's guaranteed
you're going
money.
to have people. Yeah.
It's guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So, now, did you deal with a lot of the stuff that was, coming up, bouncing from shop to shop to shop? How many shops were there? 3?
There was 3. Yeah, all within 20-minute drive of each other. Groton, we always had one in Groton, and they're just being extra rough on me, which I think was good because it prepared me. I could go anywhere and feel fine.
Well, back in so when I started in the 90s, it was mainly biker on Long Island. It was a lot of biker.
Yeah.
And I, thank goodness, never really had to deal with a lot of bullshit. The shops we were in, we were usually closed between 10:30 and 11.
Yeah.
Like the door get locked if there was nobody in there. The door gets locked at 10:30. You spend another half hour scrubbing tubes and cleaning and stuff. Right. Sometimes you were there till midnight. But where I was on Long Island, it was pretty quiet.
Pretty chill.
But it was mainly bikers that we were tattooing.
Yeah, I remember growing up, it was always bikers because my dad was a biker. And then it did transition. I feel like you started to get more. Obviously, we had a lot of military, Navy guys, but a lot of women. I feel like women have always been a majority clientele.
Of people getting tattoos. So and on Long Island, not really. We had I'd say it made up maybe 25-30% of our clients.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was usually little tiny pieces.
Little stuff. Well, I remember when I started tattooing, really tattooing, the tramp stamp was
big.
That's how I learned how to tattoo. Doing tribal lower back tattoos and butterflies. That was my jam.
What people would have you believe ruining lives because I mean that area was a really
that's a painful area too. And these women sat no problem 4 hours bent over in a barber's chair. Yeah.
Oh, you guys didn't have the old school a regular chair with the fucking plank?
Well, we had the old barber chairs with no arms, and then we didn't have a massage table or anything. If you had to do your chest, they were just
you had to lay back in the chair.
Back. Yeah, and then sometimes they'd put an armrest under your foot or in the back of your head, so you're not hanging off. But I don't remember any tables or anything.
That's crazy.
Just chairs.
Yeah.
My dad always had a fucking footstool, and that's no armrest. You just grab the back of your arm.
Yeah, that's legit old school shit. I never got. I maybe because I'm a bigger guy, but I could never get used to being so big and already being so low to the ground. I couldn't get used to the
trying to manhandle everybody. And the arm.
I mean, we did the same thing because you'd wrap the paper towel around your hand, and then you grab them from behind, it was when I didn't get my first armrest until 98, I think in 96, whatever the first year of the New York convention was, the very first year. I bought my armrest there. Never had an armrest before that. Everything was always in your fucking lap.
Yeah, figure it out.
In your lap. So
I feel like when I started tattooing, I had hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
So, like, I had the oldest chair. I had, like, whoever's armrest was, like, rickety and the pin was gone or whatever.
So your shit was just, like, fuck it. Well, I mean, everything had history behind it.
Yeah, I just made it work.
It might
I didn't have money to buy anything, so I was like, I'll take anything. Give me whatever.
How fast did you get, so how long did the apprenticeship last?
The actual apprenticeship part, I feel like once they actually gave me the go-ahead, I was tattooing pretty quick because I was already doing all that shit for so long.
Right.
So it was more like how much help they needed. So, like, as soon as I was driving around, I'd have to go to this shop, clean, make sure tubes and needles done, go to this shop, clean, you know. And then I'd be able to go somewhere and tattoo or take walk-ins. Because there was no appointments. You just hung out
showed
all
up.
day.
Yeah, you just showed up and waited for it to happen.
And I remember at one point in the heyday, there'd be a list, and there'd be people hanging around outside, inside, just waiting. And they'd just call your name, fucking figure out what you're getting.
So when you were doing it, were you getting paid? Because you said your dad before you were apprenticing.
I made 50% until I was the owner of the shop.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Shit. So I mean, but that's again, people are going to be like, oh my god, there's no fucking way.
I know.
50%.
Well, like my apprentice the other day just asked me, she's like, well, when am I going to pay rent? I'm like, you're not.
Yeah.
You've been here for a year. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, I see, and again, that's something that we're hearing. A lot of apprentices are like, I should be getting paid. Why should I be doing free labor?
Right.
Like, this is bullshit.
Well, like, if you're not paying me for your apprenticeship, it's just like if you go to trade school, you're going to pay 20, 30 grand.
So you don't charge for an apprenticeship?
No, because I feel like it makes me feel like there's too much of a timestamp on it. Like, well, I paid you. Why am I not doing this yet?
I'm glad. Honestly, I'm so happy to hear you say that because
like, I had the slave labor apprenticeship, but you know what? I know how to do everything.
Yeah.
I know how to talk to people. I know how to make stencils. I know how long it's supposed to take.
Yeah.
And, like, you just know the whole process, like how to clean, what needs, you know, all the proper stuff. So, like, my apprentice now, and I'm just like, I don't want to have a contract. I don't want, because, like, if it's not working, a year in, I'm like, it's not going to work out. Just see ya.
Well, how did you meet this apprentice? And
they approached me. Actually, her art teacher is someone I went to school with, and I tattooed like her whole family, and she came in and recommended.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So, and she came with a portfolio, you know, which I feel like that's important. I don't think anyone could just convince me to teach them anything without a little effort.
Well, how many people have you apprenticed?
I've had 4.
Oh, shit. Inside
and
how many years?
3 all own their own shop and very successful out of state.
How long did they work for you before they moved on?
That's the key. So, like, their apprenticeship's like a year or 2, and then I feel like by then they're already established a little bit. They build a clientele for that first 6-8 months to a year, and then they're gone.
For real? See, that would bother the fuck out of me.
It bothers me a little bit, especially as a person you care. They become friends, they're family.
Right.
And then you do feel a little, like, fucked over. You're like, oh, well, you just built your whole career here, and now you're going to go.
See, I saw a friend of mine down in the Carolinas. He has, you know, he's apprenticed, not many, maybe 2 or 3 people. And his big thing is, you know, they put in a proper apprenticeship. They work at his shop for a certain amount of time. And then he tells them, before they do anything else, before they leave to do their own thing, he says to them, he's like, you need to travel now. You need to go on the road. I'm going to set you up I'm going to set you up in Miami with the guys that love hate. I'm going to set you up in a place in Georgia. Like, and he makes them travel.
I mean, that's amazing.
And work on the road. Because I think he looked at it from the perspective of it's like a rites of passage. Like, you can do this anywhere in the fucking world.
Right.
Don't get caught just being here.
The hometown thing's hard.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm traveling more now in the last 5 years than ever. Maybe because my kids are a little older, it's easier. But, like, I know I can stay home and be busy.
Right.
But, like, I want to have that drive where I want to be good enough where I can go anywhere and work.
And travel and work,
yeah.
So I made the mistake. I don't even know if it was a mistake. For me, it was just getting the fuck out of New York.
Right.
And experiencing life. Because living on Long Island is such a bubble.
Right.
You know, you don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so when I started traveling, I didn't stop. And to the point where now, further into my career, it's a bit detrimental because now people look at it as like, well, you're never around. Well, you don't call the fucking shop, so you don't know whether or not I'm around. Yeah. But everybody got so trained into thinking like, oh, you got to strike while the iron's hot with him.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it did kind of hurt a little bit. But I would imagine if you spent your entire career in one spot, in one town, and then up and left to go to, you know, to go away for a week. People would just be like, oh yeah, she's in Vegas this week, and oh, she's my artist is a traveling artist, you know. So for small town people, and that sounds Shit, I don't mind. I don't want
well, like
to
some of my clients are like, "Oh, where are you going?" And I'm like, "I only travel maybe do 4 conventions a year, maybe."
And that's nothing.
And you know, maybe sometimes I do more, but like most of them I drive to, and I don't want to, you know. Yeah. If I'm flying somewhere, it's because I want to go somewhere.
Right. Exactly.
And that's like if I make money and whatever, but. Yeah, I don't know. But then sometimes they come in, they're like, "Oh, well, you know, how far are you out? Where are you going to be?" I'm like, well, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm here."
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's like so. Getting back to the apprenticeship, the apprentices leaving, it's great that they're successful. They're not. Oh, yeah. They're not one of these.
You know, some of them I'm not friends with. Some of them we still talk, but like, it is what it is. I mean, I feel like more scared to take apprenticeships because people are so
one way.
It's all about them, and it's like they want everything. They want you to teach you, give you everything, and they're like they owe you nothing.
Right, exactly.
Not that they owe me something, but it's like I give a little credit to how your career is.
Exactly. You know? I think getting back to the payment of an apprenticeship, to me, it's the same as taking a deposit for an appointment. Yeah. You now have signed a contract with that person, and you need to deliver as much as they do.
Yeah.
And I think what we're seeing now is a smarter, a more savvy kid coming down the pipe being like, well, if I'm going to pay for it, then I want X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you as the guy, you don't get to say, fuck off, get out of my fucking shop. Right. You just rob somebody.
And I feel like it's a little too one-sided. So like you're going to expect all of this from me, but then how is it roles reversed? Like it can't just be a one-way road. Like if they're not asking me questions, if they're not doing what I ask, or if I have to repeat myself, or like, hey, where'd you draw this week? I have to do that. I'm like so annoyed.
No, well, you should be because I mean, not for nothing. Like
I had to fight for a station,
right?
Because there, so many people wanting to get in there.
Well, I think it's that privilege. It's that expecting something for nothing,
right?
Attitude, and I don't know. And that's not to put down the individuals that are apprenticing today. I mean, some of them are just insanely fucking talented, and things are.
But that means they had a hunger for it. You have to hunger for it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just walk in and expect to.
But how many people have you met that have come in for? Here, personally, we've only had a handful of people that I was like, get the fuck out of my shop.
Right, they come in and try to ask. I mean, that's hard for young people now too. I think just to walk in and try to talk.
Right.
Like I remember the few girls that have come in. It's like they're almost like teary-eyed because people don't know how to communicate anymore.
Right.
And that almost like makes it a little worse. I'm like, oh my god, how are you gonna survive in here?
Well, so let me ask you a question. Say someone comes in and they're really talented and they're that person. They're like fucking social retard.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how does that make you? Do you sit back and go, absolutely fucking not. I don't care how talented you are. I don't have it in me.
I think the talent can be directed because then they're going to be one of those, weird tattoo artists that maybe they're going to wear headphones the whole time you get tattooed, and you're going to get amazing work, but your experience is going to be bleh.
Yeah, and that to be honest, for me, it's a big deal. Like I mean,
depends on the client. The client, some people want experience,
right?
So like you have a tattoo artist that's like average, but they're the most, you'll love them. You fall in love with them. You're only going to get tattooed by this person because you have such an amazing experience, but then all your tattoos are shit.
Yeah.
People don't care about that.
Yeah.
Some people want the experience.
Exactly. I think that's part of what makes a great tattooer.
Right.
Is the character.
So you got to find the middle ground of like producing good work and still giving your clients a good experience.
Well, that's why I think like finding the right apprentice is really important.
And then how do you know? You really have to spend time with somebody.
And that's the other thing that I would say. The reason why I've never really apprenticed anybody is I've never met anybody personally that sat in my chair enough that I liked them so much, and I found that they had some kind of talent, there was some inner spark, and then they had an interest in getting tattooed.
Right.
That's the one thing. It's like it's not like I say no to everybody. But I'm not going to go out of my way I'm not going to ask somebody, should you apprentice?
Yeah.
You should, I'm looking for an apprentice. It kind of drives me crazy. Like I just saw an ad from some douche who made a big deal. And I want to talk this later too. But this fucking guy, he puts out, we're looking for, piercers, apprentices, this, that.
Trying to build a shop?
Yeah, trying to build a shop or a second shop or a third shop, whatever.
Okay.
But it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
You don't have enough people to do it?
Yeah, why are you advertising an apprenticeship? Like, you put the fucking word out, like, in the ether. You don't even have, you can speak it out loud before you put your head on your pillow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, someone's going to be like looking for an apprentice.
I don't think I've ever said I wanted an apprentice. Ever.
Yeah.
They just come in.
Because a lot of people, when I mentioned that, they were like, well, they're just looking for free labor. And I'm like, yeah, well, today's day and age, that's hard to find.
Well, that's why the labor thing, I feel like it's teaching you basically how to run a shop. Because you have to know how it needs to be clean, how you should present yourself. But the money thing, that gets me. Because I'm like, what if I take your money and then like 6-7 months down the road, I'm like, that's probably not for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You have a responsibility at that point.
Yeah, that makes it too much for me, because then I feel like money changes the dynamic of the relationship.
Yeah. I mean, people would say, I mean, the comparison to that would probably be if you did go to a trade school or an art college and flunked out, you don't get your money back.
You don't get your money back.
Not to my knowledge, but pretty soon you don't get your money back.
I mean, I definitely feel like they should approach it like they are going to a trade school.
Yeah.
I've just never accepted the, like, I'm not going to 10, 20 grand. Like, I think I took money a couple times, but it was like, it's $3,000, but then half of this is going to go towards your equipment.
Oh, so you're going to purchase, you're going to give them, like,
so like your startup is, yeah, nice. But like, it's like, this isn't going to happen until you get to this point.
Right. So my first 2 machines that I got to tattoo with were the owner's tattoo machines.
Yeah.
And within a month, I couldn't wait. My first 2 machines were brass coastals from, not coastals, from Papillons.
Oh, yeah.
Brass swing gates.
Yeah.
And dude, those machines, I wish I still had it. I fucking traded both of my first machines for a Mickey Sharp's machine back in like '95, and I am so upset by that.
And I'll have to ask my dad if he still has his whole. Not that he always uses the same shit but he would repair and fix everything. And that was another thing in apprenticeship. You had to learn how to like build your machine.
Exactly.
Because like no one's gonna fucking help you if your springs break or.
Well, so again, the beauty of the shop that I came up in, there were 2 other fellers. One also was just starting. And the other guy had about 2 years on us because the owner didn't know squat. Like his idea of fixing a machine was filing down the contact point
just so it
and
runs
adjusting
some more.
the rubber bands. So it ran, or it's just like, oh, just turn it up.
Right.
And then it wasn't until like one guy breaks a spring and we're like, fuck. Now we got to figure out how to fucking either buy a spring, but you still got to tune it and you still got to fucking bend it. So that's where the 3 of us got involved, and we would just sit down and figure it out. First time I built a machine wasn't with the guy who apprenticed me. It was with one of the other guys in the shop, and we didn't build it from scratch. We built a national kit.
Right. Yeah. Well, you used to be able to get like everything in pieces, but
you still had to learn to solder. You still had to bend your own springs. You still had to. There were little things that you had to. You know which direction the capacitor went.
Yeah. Right. And because you want your machines to run, I feel like as soon as something breaks, they never run.
Quite the same. Well, that's the joy too with those machines, because every now and again, when say you do break a spring. And then you respring it, and you go, "Damn, this machine fucking rocks now." Yeah. So it's like, it's the little things that while it's a pain in the dick, it is also one of those things. A, it's learning, and B, you might actually get something better out of it.
Yeah, It's always crazy to me when I meet people now that have never touched a coil machine or a needle on bar.
How much?
I'm like, you don't know what you're missing.
Exactly. Yeah. How much of the business today?
Well, not a lot of work now. A lot of the new work, like how much are they actually outlining?
Well, there's that, yeah.
So like they're basically, you're changing the way you do art, so you don't have to line.
Right.
Like if you ask them to do a little fine line name, it's probably going to be jacked.
You know what's funny? I just had a client in here recently, and he had one of those little fine line, and it wasn't super small. It was maybe a hair bigger than a business card.
Those are so popular right now. I mean, I have a hard time with that because I'm like, in 10 years it's going to be.
So this tattoo was because I had tattooed him, and he said he had it before I tattooed him. The piece I did on his calf was 6 years old. I just posted it as a mermaid, and I was really happy with the way that looked. And I'm like, did you have this on your arm when I tattooed you? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty certain I got it just before I got tattooed by you. So it's tattooed 6 years old. It's beautiful. And I know the artist who did it. He's a West Coast guy, phenomenal artist. But to what you said before, all the shading, it was all stipple shaded and stuff, really nice. But it's all now turning super smooth gray.
Yeah.
It went from being stippled to now it's gray, which is what you hope to get out of that.
Right. Yeah. You want it to spread. Yeah.
And then, but the funny thing was, there were these lines. There was like these bordered lines. It was 2 perpendicular lines, and they were so fucking janky. And the first thing I asked them,
single needles are hard. That's like
but these weren't single needle. These were like this looked like it was a loose 5 or 7. And it was so janky looking. I'm like, did the guy who did the line do the lines? He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's what you said.
I think that style, like my shop's always been a walk-in shop, so you have to kind of do everything.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that's mainly kind of how I'm still have such a clientele, because I don't tattoo the same shit every day.
Right.
Like yesterday I did a portrait. The day before that I did some skull and roses. Like it's different every day.
Well, that was the joy of it. I think it's different now because back then when you worked, especially for me, when I worked in that street shop, the first 5 years of my career, 6 years of my career came off the wall.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't until I got a piece in the magazine that people would pay attention to your drawings, because you only got to tattoo good clients with what
Find
you drew.
somebody,
Because most people just knew you came in, picked something off the wall.
Right.
The way we started to change the way people thought about that was pick something on the wall, I'll take it in the back and redraw it for you.
Yeah.
And then when they go, well, I really like the one on the wall, I'm like, yeah, but now this is your tattoo.
You're like selling them.
Yeah, this is custom.
I still have a hard time with that. A lot of people are like, what's your style? I'm like, man, I've been almost 20 years in. I don't know if I have one.
Yeah.
No, I just try to do good work every day.
I was going to say, just try to do what comes up. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still hard. I mean, there's stuff I would prefer to do, but then, you have to, like, do it for free or hook them up, which I've been doing a lot lately because I'm like, I just want a tattoo.
Right. Well, I think that's the thing, too. It's like, people say, like, I mean, I never agreed with this, but to give work away just to do the work that you wanted, like these portfolio pieces.
I mean, a discount. Like, now when you go to shows, conventions, most of those pieces that they're tattooing for 3 days, those people have a huge discount or not paying at all.
They have to be. Because
it's award chasing.
Because you got
Which
guys,
is great. I just never had that drive.
No, I don't know. How many of those 3-day tattoos have you seen healed?
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like, and again, I'm sure most of them heal up beautifully. But I do have a hard time with.
I know I couldn't do that. There's no way that I could make that work.
I'd want to break stuff. I mean,
my brain would be gone.
Yeah, if I sit and tattoo for 9 hours on a piece now, I don't want to think.
Like, I don't want to see you for 4 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Same.
You know, and that's one of those things. Like, I mean, I tattoo relatively fast, so what you get done from me in 3-4 hours is what someone's going to spend 6 or 8 hours on. You know,
I mean, seeing that stuff is amazing to me. Like, my brain can't compute it. I'm like, I don't know how you did all that in 3 days.
In 3 days, exactly.
Yeah, crazy.
Especially just keeping things clean. But again, I think that's what you brought up before. People are learning to tattoo without having to use the basics that we came up with. Line work.
You're just starting.
Yeah. You're like a copy machine.
Yes. Which I've never tried anything, which I do want to, but my brain's so hardwired into outline shading. Like. Yep. I was doing a lion head the other day on this gal, and I immediately went into starting to do some basic outline on the mane down at the bottom, and I was like, you know what? Stop. Yeah.
Just grab your shader, put your line in, and I did that from the way up.
Yeah.
And it worked. I mean, it looked different. It didn't necessarily look like a tattoo that I would do, because it didn't have all the basics of lines. And
I feel like the artists that now kind of tattoo like that, they tattoo so fast because you're kind of skipping that step.
Right.
Which is amazing. My brain doesn't work that way.
Well, it's funny because I had a guy from Vegas recently. I tattooed a big thing on his thigh, and he watched me work, and I literally outlined the entire thing and then black shaded a chunk of the piece near the face, and then literally started at the top, and just worked my way down and worked section to section to section to section. When it was all said and done, I might have to go in and do a tiny touch up in the eyes, the white or whatever.
Right.
And he was just like, dude, you always tattoo like this? And I'm like, yeah. And the person who did that I watched Timothy Hoyer tattoo the back of my arm, and that's exactly how he worked. He worked at the top, down, finished.
Yeah.
Where Cap outlined the entire thing, black shade the entire thing, and then just went bonk, color, color, color. By the time he's done, 6 hours, you're just like, oh my God,
Because I'm always like, how are these people sitting for 3 12-hour days?
Yeah.
But I think that's the process, is you're just starting, you're never going back.
Right.
You're just,
there's never that moment where you got to go back in with
which is crazy to see. I'll have to try to dabble a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I always
get nervous. I'm like, oh my God, what if this person taps out and I don't get to this section?
I always wonder.
Then I have to try to re-stencil this? Yep. What the fuck?
It's funny when you see certain people, like, they get to a point where they cut off. They don't try to re-outline.
Just so you can I'm like, that.
I've seen Nico do it.
I would lose my mind.
I've seen Nico do it, where all you see is a fucking hand and maybe a lip. And you sit there and you're like,
you have to pick a spot where I couldn't even imagine re-stenciling that.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But again, I think that's part of the problem with, like, how hard do you think it is? Like, you're saying it for yourself personally. It's very difficult to make those personal changes in how you were brought up.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's hard when you're kind of hardwired.
When you
but
listen
to see stuff, you're like, okay.
When you listen to all the people that are coming down the pipe, all these old guys,
yeah,
they're just like, oh, fuck that. It's never, like, how much of that do you think was, I'm going to bellyache about what you're doing
just
and call
refusing
it
to
shit.
change. Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I think change is good. I think it is. I mean, my dad, he's such a sweetheart. And he's like, I could never do what you do. And he's like always so in awe. But I'm like, you know, his errors, like, he loved to do like one pieces or like landscapes, you know? Just
really?
Random shit. And he's like, same thing. He's like, oh, I could never do it. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you could. You just gotta want to try.
It is always fun when you, like, when I got tattooed by Cap Zumsky, it was a similar situation. Like, he had done a Sailor Jerry girl on a friend of mine, and Cap Zumsky at this time is known for just doing black and gray single needle work, because he was working with Brian Everett and Jack Rudy. Comes back to the East Coast, he's working with Tony Oliva. Well, he doesn't work with Tony. I think him and Tony kind of butt heads. But it was all black and gray fine line stuff that he came back with. And when I'd seen this bold line Sailor Jerry girl, and I'm like, I want that from you. And he was like, absolutely fucking not. I don't do color. And I'm like, you fucking do, dude, because you did a piece on my friend that is fucking gorgeous. And I had him do this on me. He argued with me the entire fucking time. When it was all said and done, he's like, he saw me like 6 months later, and it's beautiful. It was done in '97. And his words to me were, thanks for letting me do that. Or making me do that, he said. Yeah.
I think that's like, I don't think you're ever done as an artist.
Right.
Like when, especially the one benefit to internet, I can't stand it. It's a necessary evil. But I get to see tattoos I would never see. I'm never going to see that person or see them at a convention. And I'm like, how the fuck do they do that?
Right.
You know? So it's a little inspiring. It motivates me a little bit.
Well, I think because, you know, one of the things I've often said is, like, back in like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, when MySpace and Facebook became a thing.
Yeah.
You know, you see how dramatically things can change the moment you, and I use Australia as a basis because that's where I first noticed it.
Yeah.
Was when I went to Australia, and it was all biker tattooers.
Right.
And I went back there a year later after MySpace or Facebook became a thing. And all of a sudden, you got these amazing realism artists popping up. And it was like, it just took being introduced to it and just soaking up all that.
I think once someone sees something, they're like, oh, I have to try that. And it just like spreads.
Right.
Yeah.
And
everyone's just one-upping.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
So the funny thing is, I think the one-upping happens on accident.
Yeah.
I think it starts, maybe that's not true. For certain individuals, it's definitely one-upping. But for others, they're just trying to catch up. And that's why I think we saw such an influx of color realism because like Nika, like that West Coast.
I feel like once you see someone else can do it, you're like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do that. And then it becomes a popular thing, and then before you know it, the clients catch on. It turns into a trend.
There's always trends. Yeah.
So, one of the things I want to talk to you, and this is going to sound completely chauvinistic, and if you don't want to talk about it, we can stop it. You're one of the women that has an OnlyFans. You have like an outside. You don't have it anymore.
No, I got rid of it.
Okay. And if you don't want to talk about it, I
don't know. Yeah.
But as a guy tattooer, one of the things that a lot of people, and I will admit, I've said it a bunch of times, where it's like, oh man, the only reason she's fucking busy is because you know she's got an OnlyFans, or she's a fucking, you know, every picture's got every reel has got to open up with her in front of a mirror or whatever.
It's fucking selling, baby.
Yeah. So what made you do it? You know, how did it go down for you? Like, I
think it was during COVID.
Okay.
And my shop got shut down for 5 months, and you're paying for everything.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend, I'm not going to say her name, but she had made one the year prior and was banking.
Right.
Making.
And this was still pretty early for.
Early. She was making $5-10 grand a month doing nothing.
Jesus.
And I already have a bunch of creepy people that are always trying to like get at me. So then I was like, fuck it, why not? And like started off just like lingerie, like nothing crazy. And people were paying $10 a month plus $50, $60, $100 a picture. The
first time I found out about it with you was I was with Jimmy at the casino.
Yeah.
At the convention a couple of years ago, and he brought it up, and I'm like, really? And you were coming in here
because I didn't advertise it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So did you?
It was like a secret thing. It was just like if you found the link, you found the link. So, because I have kids, you know,
which is a big deal.
Which is a huge deal because they're teenagers, you know. And God, I was so nervous about it, but all my girlfriends that do have them really convinced me to do it. And whatever it paid for my new shop to get built, you know.
Which is fuck.
And it gets you a lot of exposure, negative or positive.
Right.
And I don't think it made my tattoo career any better. I don't think I have clients. I have like dudes that are in my DMs all the time, like, oh, I would love to get tattooed by you. They can't even talk to you in person. Yeah. So that's why they're online paying money. So I'll take full advantage of.
So would you say you looked at it from the perspective of, I don't want to say necessity.
It was necessity at the moment because I didn't want to finance my shop build. And then you're not making any money for 5 months. Right. And I mean, everyone has savings, but I don't want to burn through it like that. Right. And I think the first year I made like $100,000. Right. Doing nothing.
Well, let me ask you a question. If guys could do it, do you think, I'm sure there are some guys that do.
There is, but women ain't paying for it. That's the thing.
Right, exactly. No. So it's just fucking piggish guys.
Yeah. Just dudes paying to see dudes. No, and women aren't paying for it. So like, and OnlyFans you can do whatever. Like I have a buddy, he does like cooking shit on it.
Right, exactly.
You know?
So that's funny. It's funny.
A platform however you want. There's a girl that makes tons of money. All she does is paint in a bikini. Like,
right. It's funny. So Tom and Jackie Strom and Sandylands, like jokingly, because I follow the gal on Instagram, and I found out through Instagram she does have an OnlyFans, but I've never seen it. But it's always these pictures of her in lingerie.
Yeah, just doing something stupid.
And I always send them to Tom, and I'm like, dude, you got to get on this trend, man. Right? Start wearing fucking skimpy clothes.
The girl that makes the most money pretends she's a horse. You know, she's making $1 million a month. So I'm like, fuck it. So like me, like sending a picture in a bikini or like painting in a bikini, like whatever.
Well, to get back to what you were talking about, guys having an OnlyFans. Somebody just this morning, I woke up and I'm going through my drawings for this morning, and I'm looking at my thing, and the guy's like, you got to start an OnlyFans and start talking about this, and I'm like,
make people pay. I guess it's just a platform.
It's like I would imagine it's very similar to Patreon, which is something I've considered doing. The Patreon. That
was a hit in the beginning. It's kind of died out a little bit.
That's what I've heard too. Yeah. I've been told that too. So, and I would imagine that the OnlyFans thing is going to change for women with what's happening with AI right now, because
now majority of the ones that make the most are computer generated women.
That's insane to me.
Same thing in porn. It's all AI.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. It's so crazy.
AI is crazy. Mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It's dudes making these, fake chicks, and guys are paying tons of money.
And guys are paying to be part of it.
I actually stopped doing it just because, they take 20%.
Oh, wow, okay.
And none of your stuff is protected. It gets leaked, and then fucking taxes in Connecticut on your OnlyFans stuff is like 40%.
Holy shit. So you're literally, by the time you're said and done, you're only bringing in like 30%?
Garbage.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Is it different from state to state?
I'm sure it depends on whatever your income tax is for your state. Yeah. But I stopped doing it because then it started to feel like a job. Like, instead of people wanting like to see me, they wanted to talk to me. So they're like paying to talk to me.
Really? So it's almost like
they want like a relationship.
That's fucking. Oh, so that gets. So
I was like, well, weird. This is not it for me.
Because I know I have friends that they talk to their AI like it's like it's a person.
Right.
And it's creepy.
So it started to move into like, okay, they don't want to see me like dressing scandalous or doing anything. They want to fucking talk to me every day. So I was charging like $5 for however many minutes you want me to sit here and type. But I'm like, this is too much. This is like
it's not even talking physically. It's just typing.
Yeah.
That's so fucking weird.
Yeah. Weird, yeah. So I was like, this isn't for me. It's too much. Because once I started getting back into tattooing and COVID kind of calmed down, I was like, no, this is not it.
Well, that's something I've often wondered, like, and we'll make that switch over. But like you said, it's a job. Like, in order to make money at it, you have to do it. Like influencers, I think one of the biggest, what a lot of young cats today are most disappointed in is how difficult it actually is to stay on top of your social media game.
Content that people are actually going to stop to look at. It's a lot of work.
Right.
Like, I don't post that often because, man, it takes me forever just to make those fucking stupid videos where you're just hodgepodging a bunch of shit together.
Right.
That's a lot of work. And there's people that really, every day they're putting out content, which it shows because their following is huge. you're busy, but like that's a whole other job besides what your job is.
Well, that was the thing. Like I ran into I have a couple of friends that are chef influencers, and I hate the word influencer, but because they're talented people. And I remember going to dinner one night, and we're all at the table. He's at the table with 3 of his chef friends, and he's got to stop every 15, 20 minutes to take a picture of this and take a picture of that.
Yeah.
And then at one point he has to get up, walk outside, do a reel, and I'm like,
it's a lot.
It's kind of fucking lame, you know. But this is how people are entertained nowadays, you know.
And it's just you're trying to keep them looking.
Right. Well, I mean, now let's go back to like the beginning of that, which would be television.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have television reality programs that it's no longer about reality. Like the closest they can get to reality without straight up making shit up.
Right.
Is competition shows.
It's entertainment.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. And that's a whole other genre of clients that are addicted to tattoo shows.
I mean, the fact that every convention now, or most conventions, have an aisle of ink masters or ink celebrities, whatever.
I mean, I think in the beginning it was good to do if you owned a shop, if you were, in the middle of your career, starting your career, that instantly got you somewhere, whether you're good or bad.
Right.
I feel like now it's still a huge thing to those people, but like, I don't know.
I think that the biggest issue that I've seen Jimmy go through when I work booths with him, or a lot of those people, like last couple of months ago at Hell City, I was next to Pony Lawson and this cat Jor-El, both of which were on last season of Ink Master, and they get a lot. They got one person a day that wants to get tattooed by them, and they're willing to pay their day rate.
Yeah.
But the rest of those people just want to come up, talk to you for a minute, and take a photo with you, and then they're gone.
Well, because you're now like a reality,
reality star.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, when I was doing the TV show, it was mainly European places. It happened in the States, but not nearly as much as Europe.
Yeah.
And like South America. And it was people just wanting to take photos.
Yeah.
And while that's fun, it also it wears on. And the reason why I say it's fun because the first time somebody asked me to take a photo with them was back in like 95, 96, when I did my first convention. And some cat comes up, he goes, "Can I get a photo?" Yeah. And I'm like, "Why?" You know, like it's genuinely strange.
Yeah.
You know, but then before you know it, it's like somebody else asks, and now before you know it, I've got 1 million photos taken of the thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's fucked my own head up in the way I do things. Like Robert Hernandez, I don't know if anybody follows anything, but I was down in a local business downtown, the Owl. I'm sitting on the sidewalk with some friends, having a drink, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this little guy walk into the Owl with a woman, and I'm like, "Oh my God, is that Robert Hernandez?" And I jumped up, and he was in New Haven to say hello. He was in New York, so he spent the night in New Haven. He was going to come by the shop the next morning. I just happened to run into him on the street. We talked for about 15 minutes, and then he was like, "I'll see you tomorrow morning." And he fucked off, and I'm like, I didn't even get a photo. Like I didn't even bother to take a photo because I'm so caught up in the moment, and I'm like, well, somebody else take a photo.
Right.
Because I
always fangirl a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I should go. I'm like, well, I always forget because you're just having a normal conversation and being normal. The last thing in my brain is like, take a picture.
Yeah, we got to document this. But it's funny how many of those guys, like when Robert was here. Dude, he would have left without me thinking of taking a photo if he hadn't said, "Hey, Joe, can we get a photo?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I had to come back here, get my phone."
Yeah.
He took one with his, I took one with mine.
That's always the last thing on my brain.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I work conventions, people come up and want a picture, but it's just because I'm at a convention, I'm like looking a certain way.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, that's always been a thing, like the persona of tattooers and clients,
right?
And that's something from like the first time I went to a convention was in '93. I went to Chicago's tattoo tour as a fan, and walking around, and everybody's walking around with at that time it was like the back of their t-shirt was torn out or a giant hole was cut in their pants, and you were taking photos. Like I still have the photo album down there of all the pictures I took of that weekend. And it was just taking photos of people. Whether because they had a bunch of piercings and shit in their face. This is before they were doing like suspensions and stuff like that, So yeah, I think.
Well, you're trying to get attention. It's the point of you're like on display,
right? Yeah. And again, like you don't. I mean, I always wore the flashy shirts back in the day, and it was because I liked the style, and I didn't want to be one of the black T-shirt guys. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm still not
stand
the
out
black
a little
T-shirt.
bit.
Yeah, you want to do your thing. You want to be unique. So how different is that? when you look at what people do now, and it's no longer about uniqueness anymore. It's more about fitting in with the masses.
Yeah, I feel like the whole scene's a little different. Like, conventions used to party, hang out, everyone. You get dinner together, getting drinks together, and I feel like a lot of conventions now, like, other artists don't even talk to you. Like, I'll walk around and say hi, smile at everybody. Some people, like, don't even look up.
I've talked to a bunch of different artists, and they always bring up the fact that when they do a convention, you always, I mean, me personally,
the point is to mingle,
exactly,
and network,
and you want to talk to the people next to you. Like, you'd want to kind of introduce yourself to those people.
Yeah.
There's always going to be the beginning of the convention where you're just trying to get your booth set up.
Right, yeah.
But if you catch eyes,
you say hi, how are you?
You introduce yourself.
I don't know if it's because the younger generation, like, just doesn't know how to communicate, or there's just this, like, I don't even know what it is. Like, my kids hate ordering food at the restaurant. They don't want to, like, talk.
Really?
You know what I mean? It's like an anxiety to have to talk to somebody. And I feel like I noticed that a lot with tattoo artists now. Like, even when they're sitting around at a convention not doing anything, they're not getting up and saying hi to people that are walking by. Like, the point of a convention is you're there to talk and get business.
Mingle, get to meet people.
Like, if you struggle to talk to people, like, you probably shouldn't do conventions.
Well, so back in the day when I was doing shows, you never were booked before you got to a convention.
Right.
You walked up there, you put your book out, people
comes.
walked around, and then you did everything on the spot. And you did 2-3 tattoos a day sometimes, you know? Now, I guess it started changing about 10 to 12 years ago is when I noticed it, where if you didn't have a booking, there was a good chance you weren't going to work because a lot of people are already booked out. Then word spreads that, well, if I don't have an appointment, there's a good chance I'm not getting tattooed.
Yeah.
And I think that the dynamic of conventions in themselves changed.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, and the younger generation just went with it.
They're not as busy as they used to be.
Yeah.
Conventions are, I don't want to say they're dying out, but maybe there's too many, or it's always the same thing, and there's a bad stigma about trying to get in or whatnot. Like, I know a lot of artists that fly in their clients. It's not even somebody that's from wherever, you know? They're just trying to do something cool for the weekend. I mean, most conventions that I show up to, I usually book one day.
Yeah.
And the rest all walk in trying to get new business.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the goal is, like, you can go back to that state and have clients.
Right.
For me, at least, that's my goal.
Well, and that makes sense. I mean, when I used to do Hell City, I never liked tattooing the same people every year.
Right.
Because the idea was to catch new clients.
Get new, yeah.
But then as things change, now it goes to a point where it's like, all right, well, I definitely have to book this guy because there's a good chance I ain't tattooing on Friday.
Gonna do it again, right.
So now when I go to shows, I try to book I try to book one a day.
Yeah.
This way I'm guaranteed to do one piece.
Something, yeah.
But lately I've been doing 2 a day bookings only because every show I'm going to, there's either nobody's there or nobody's spending money. Not with me.
Money. Yeah, it's different. It's different vibe. I've cut down on conventions just because there was a couple where I'm like, man, I didn't even get anybody asking me to book anything.
Right.
And I ended up doing a shit ton of walk-ups, but, like, you know.
Sometimes you don't. I mean, so when you do the conventions, walk-ups are always fun.
Right. I think that the skill of, like, being able to do whatever helps you. Because, like, if someone walks up and wants something and you're like, well, I don't know how to do that.
Right.
At least you can manipulate it into being able to get done in that time frame.
Right. See, for me, conventions were always really about wanting to do the showpieces.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go
So I never approached it that way.
You never did.
Yeah,
so
just exposure, networking.
Right. Because that was the thing. Like, back in the day, it's like, well, I could do this in the shop. I want to do this here.
Right.
You know, and I think that's getting lost, too, is because now people go to conventions to get the shop, to get the tattoos that they should be getting at their local shop.
Right. I think there's a good mix. There's a lot of artists that do conventions just to try to win the award.
Right. Oh, there's nothing but, you know.
Right. Yeah.
There's nothing but.
I feel like there's more just that now.
Like, and it's funny because there's certain conventions that are just that.
Just
like
that.
The New York conventions, like the Brooklyn, the fucking, the New York, the Manhattan shows,
right.
Like the big city shows.
You're trying to win the trophy.
Yeah, they bring these amazing artists.
Which I like to go to those as not working. I like to go
as a guest.
And check everything out. I think if you're trying to make money and you're not one of those, like, top-end artists, or you're not going to get booked, those aren't the conventions for you. Because,
Right,
the average person's not going there to spend money.
Well, and that's the thing, is the people that I know that have done those. I did the New York conventions.
See, I always go to New York because I want to see everyone that's there working.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that's different. I'm not going there to spend money, you know. I'm going there to check everything out.
So I did the first two or three of the New York conventions, the very first ones back in the 90s. And then I would go I did a couple of years after just to go and see my friends.
Just hang out,
because I wasn't working anymore.
Yeah.
And now all those shows now become so like, I don't want to use the word hipster, but they are the new generation of tattooers that really just don't fucking care about. They're talented as fuck.
So good.
But they're not the
well, like, so I just went to Empire.
And what'd you think of it?
I mean, that layout's hard. As a person who's going in not as a tattoo artist, I feel like it's overwhelming. I don't know how people make money there unless you're booked.
Well, I think that's all that's working the show is people.
That's a
they're
show. Yeah,
that's
a show. You're trying to win the award. You want to see all these amazing artists, but like it's not the same. Like not everyone goes out and parties every night. We're not all burning it down. Everyone's going home to their hotel room to draw for the next day or get ready.
That's to be honest with you, that's one of the reasons I stopped wanting to do shows.
That's the new thing.
Yeah.
Nobody's out to mingle and have a good time, which is I want to have a good time and party.
The first show that I saw that happening at was the Tattoo Gathering in upstate in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts,
at Jiminy Peak. You had a bunch of guys coming in from California.
I remember that, yeah.
A bunch of guys coming in, and everybody went to their suites.
Right.
Like, oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're going to go down to the bar, maybe have a drink, and then they'd never show up, and then you find out they played cards till fucking 2 a.m.
Yeah,
and you sit there.
That scene is gone, I think.
Well, I don't think it's gone. It depends
certain
on where
shows.
you're at.
Yeah. The mingling's not like it used to be.
Yeah.
No, well, like I said, a lot of artists don't know how to even say hi or.
Yeah, they're almost incapable.
Yeah.
Guys, missing out on so much.
Conventions are fun. I think there's a lot that I think I just do just to go meet and hang out. You see your friends you only see once a year.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that was what Hell City used to be like. Hell City. And it's still got a bit of that vibe.
Yeah,
like
I've never been to Hell City.
Oh, dude,
actually.
that's a show you should go to.
And everyone's like, "Oh, pool party."
Hell City. Oh,
you're talking about.
I don't do Arizona.
No,
Again, if you're into that, then
the party.
The party.
Well, I heard they used to both be just fun.
Well, they were, and I think Hell City, Arizona, has gotten a bit smaller. People go vacation,
right?
And that's great. I ain't going to fucking me personally. I'm
gonna go somewhere else for
I am
vacation.
not going to fucking Arizona in August.
Right.
Like I ain't hanging out by the pool. But for me, Hell City, Ohio, was that for a long time, and then the old guard starts getting. I don't want to say getting pushed out. I think we just get tired. And we stop going to it.
Yeah, it's just
and then
the new
crowd.
guard.
So you go to the bars, and the bar wasn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
Last year was close to what it used to be.
Okay.
Hanging out, but
I like
much
when
smaller
conventions
groups.
are like that.
Yeah, much smaller groups.
You can hang
if
out.
If you
and
like that, I would recommend that. Okay. I mean,
I always wanted to go. I just have to.
It's worth it, and you could drive. I mean, I drive it. It's not. It's like 10 hours.
I think I went once I did one of the Explorer conferences. I think that was in Ohio. That's the only time I've been there.
Oh God, yeah, it was a long time. And you know what the funny thing is? I just went back to Columbus a month after Hell City. We went down to Kentucky.
There's a lot of artists out there.
A shit ton.
Yeah.
Like Columbus has got Ohio in general. A lot of really talented motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And that's what blew my mind because I never realized it. I never.
What do you do in Ohio?
A lot of times you look at people's Instagrams and you don't even
know where they're at.
It doesn't even say.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't say Ohio artist.
Yeah.
It says nothing. I have to try to track down what shop they're in.
Right.
And,
that's the booking thing. Like just fill out a form online.
Yeah, and you don't know where they are.
On my phone, I would never book anything. People that can do that is amazing. Yeah. I would have such a hard time with that.
Well, it's funny. Like I said, we started talking about this earlier.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm sorry I'm jumping around. But, I'm going to be the first one to do it here where people are going to be able to upload. They'll be able to go to an online
consult,
pick their spot, and then basically get the balls rolling. And then I have to look at it and say, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so then it's the effort on your part. You have to go in and... Yeah. I mean, luckily, I have an apprentice that helps me out with all the emails and stuff.
Oh, that's smart.
I couldn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's where, So...
Everyone has weaknesses. That's a weakness of mine.
So getting to the social media and where we find ourselves. You said your shop is relatively busy.
Yeah, pretty busy. I mean, social media is the key, though. So, like, I used to have a front desk person, but then, I had a couple artists leave, and then now I'm down to, like, a smaller crew. And we all work different hours or days, and I'm usually there most of the time, but I'm already booked, so I don't need to, try to fight for clients. But then, man, social media is huge. I had a front desk person who was making content every day, posting stories every day, and you can see the flux. You have so many more people coming in, so many people calling and messaging, and then I got rid of the front desk, and I'm like, you're just sitting here all day doing nothing. And then now it's not, my guys are like, oh, I don't have anything today.
So now you
can see it. You can see it.
So this is what's driving me nuts today, and a lot of tattooers.
It's a necessary for business now, I think. Especially if you're trying to get anyone under 30. They're not looking at websites or even looking through Instagram pages. They're watching your stories or what reels. Pops up in their...
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny because I have friends that down in the Carolinas and Virginia, and they've been doing a lot more social media stuff, noticeably more.
It's important.
And I've never asked. Hey man, have you really seen a difference in what's going on?
Yeah.
What kind of clients do you see it bringing in?
Just your average,
Just regular walk-in kind of stuff.
And I think it makes people feel more comfortable, like, oh, they're doing stuff all day, every day. They're seeing something. Even if it's just a photo of the shop that someone's posting or, a walkthrough when people are tattooing.
Right.
Yeah, I think people, instead of going in and looking at a place or looking at a website, they want to scrolling to see activity.
But how much of that is so much bullshit? And I mean that in a legitimate way.
It's a necessary thing. Even like my gym, people are going to the gym regardless.
Right.
They post shit all day long, but then it gets people wanting to go there because they're like, oh, these people are... This is a busy gym.
All the pretty people are there.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I don't know. I feel like content, man, you have to do it.
Right.
You have to put it out.
How do you feel about what we see happening now where... Because there was a big... I don't want to bring the names up again, but... announcing that they're getting out of the business, and I've got a couple of friends that are gotten to the point that the next year or so.
I guess it's good if you want to finish up stuff and give your clients a chance, but it's like, man, what a scary thing. What do you do?
It's yeah. I mean, I've had conversations with friends, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know what the fuck I would do.
Right? Because I had this conversation with someone, like, owning a shop is not it anymore. It's not like it used to be.
Much harder.
It's much harder, and then yeah, like to think about like. I don't know, it's crazy. It's like, what do you keep your shop and then you just don't tattoo anymore?
Well, it's funny. A couple of years ago, I seriously considered dropping the shop because of the amount of people that are here. Things were getting harder to run the shop, and I have a manager that helps me. But I got to a point where I wanted to throw my hands up in the air and just walk away because of just everything, And I decided not to. And I'll be honest with you, with how slow my business has been lately, personally. The shop is what's keeping me a bit afloat, but now I'm at the point where it's like bills will keep going up, everything it gets harder and harder to run, especially a shop this size.
So I'm on the opposite, where it's like me keeping it alive
because because the people are just not working as much.
Well, it's just I'm busy, and like my shop's not made for 4 people, it's made for 10 people.
You went and got a bigger shop.
Yeah, well, because then when I did this 3-4 years ago, I had 7 people with room to grow. But then, you lose people. So when you make that business decision where you think you're going to have a full crew, and you're like, okay, I can spend this money and we need a bigger place. And then here we are 3 years later, I'm down to half, and you're like, fuck.
So now, have you tried to put the feelers out there to bring people in? Or?
Yeah, I mean, but then, I've said no to a lot of people.
Yes.
Because then they come in and you're like, well, you don't need a job, you need an apprenticeship. Like, you're walking in with a portfolio that, like, what? Why are you tattooing?
When we put word out that we were looking for somebody, all we got were people wanting apprenticeships. Right. Nobody, and what you said before was...
people that think that they're capable.
And they're not.
And you don't want to burst their bubble, but, like, no, you should probably... go back to apprenticeship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You shouldn't be tattooing.
You don't want to be rude and be like, no, I wouldn't hire you because your work is, like...
That's kind of I didn't say that.
You have to be a little honest, but like my dad would be like this. He would be brutal. But that's not the 90s anymore. So
I don't
want a bad Yelp review.
There was a huge online argument that we had because I made a comment about the kid coming in with his phone.
Right, not an actual portfolio.
Yeah.
Or like someone just gives me their Instagram. I'm like, oh, now you're gonna make me pull out my phone to look you up. Like
exactly.
You couldn't even just print out a photo.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. The one guy who did come in pretty serious, he actually, I said to him, I was like, I don't want to look at your Instagram. I don't want to look at your stuff on your Instagram. I want to see a raw photo.
A real photo. Because, everything's edited and, like the guys in my shop now have the polarized. Which, I just ordered one, Well, like, I have to learn photography skills too, You
have no choice now because I had my friend London out in California. He literally, he's like, yo, man, I'm sending you my light kit. because you got to take better photos because
it's hard because when my career is based off people seeing my work out in the wild, and they're coming in like, oh, I saw this piece, I want to book with you. Now I have to I need to take a picture of this or try to get a picture of this fresh tattoo, not knowing anything about lighting or photography, which is my own laziness. I need to learn more about it. But yeah, my career is based off people oh, I heard your name, I saw this tattoo, I want to come get tattooed by you.
Old style word of mouth.
Now I have to I have to up my game.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm saying with a lot of artists that get offended by having to do all this. And again, the artists that I'm talking about, because everybody came at them and they were just kind of like, no, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to spend more time on that, more time on this. And they act like these artists aren't doing that.
Right.
And I think that it's paying that person
more
a disservice.
Capable, you know what I mean? I know my weaknesses, and that's social media. It's technology stuff. I know that's my weakness. Yeah. But I have people that help me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, have you noticed that the amount of artists that are suffering today in today's
are the ones
economy,
that don't want to try?
You think it's just the ones that don't want to try?
I think it's just... you have to accept the fact that this is how you need to get out there.
Okay.
That's how you get new clients. Unless you're just busy enough where you're good, you don't have to.
No, I mean, I'm talking about artists that are good, that are just not fucking busy.
There's artists that I would love to get tattooed by, and they're like, I'm only booked out a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? How? But I know them because you've been following and you're obsessed with their career for a while. But then when you actually go to look them up, they haven't posted anything since 2019.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people, me being one of them, that are posting daily. Yeah. They're doing everything but the Dog and Pony Show.
Right.
And that's they're not doing the TikTok dances and stuff.
Yeah, reels are the thing. It's my young people are telling me I have to make reels.
Yeah.
You can't just post a photo anymore.
Right.
You have to make it a 30-second,
Yeah, but again, this is where it gets it gets maddening.
Yeah.
Because
that's what people are now. That's what they're used to ingesting. Same thing when you're on social media and it's products. It's not just a picture of a product. It's 30 seconds of this crazy thing.
Well, so
and sucks them in.
Being from my generation, what's the most aggravating part of that is, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the thing that that
you just have to fucking chug that down.
Well, but that's so whenever I post reels, the other day I posted a reel talking about just this, not having a conversation, just basically talking out into the ether.
Right.
It got a ridiculous amount of fucking play, views, likes, comments. It's always the things that you say, and I have a tendency for, whether it be good or bad, for saying the things that nobody wants to fucking say. For being the guy. I think that's good, though. No, I think it's a good thing, too.
Yeah. Good or negative is good. And that's the hard thing, though. Yeah, you have to do stuff like that. You have to. People want to hear your voice. I get that a lot, too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so that's what I've been told, too. Everybody now is doing these reels where it's
voiceover.
Hey, I'm Joe Capobianco, and I'm fucking such and such, and blah, blah, blah. I like doing this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
I kayak into my,
Yeah. That's a hard thing to swallow, too, is people want to know more about your personal everyday shit than your work.
Right.
My stuff where I post, I'm fucking out drinking or I'm at an ocean, that gets more views than the fucking tattoo that I did for 12 hours.
I get turned off when you get a lot of tattooers that are doing nothing more than showing off the car they're driving.
Right.
Showing off their 40 cars, 12 motorcycles, and they're not doing it. They're doing it because they know it's going to get them play, and I just think it's pathetic.
Yeah.
And these are friends.
That's the bait stuff too. I see a lot of that lately, and I mean, good for you. That's how you want to play it. But.
Well, that's usually how I get. I do the Honest Tattooer podcast down in New York, and I'll say something.
I don't know, but that's honest. I'm saying people that are purposely making stuff.
Well, the fact that they're purposely using it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a conversation we're having.
They're not even serious about what they're talking about, and they're just trying to get clicks.
Well, that's one of the reasons I have an issue with with this is because you'll have guys like, what do you charge for a day
I think it
rate?
just changes the industry. Yeah, someone sent me something like that the other day. How's this person charging $10,000 a day? I'm like, I don't fucking think they're that's crazy.
And the fact that they're saying it, that's one of those situations. I come from a school where if you're making a shit ton of money, the last thing you do is brag about it.
Show it off.
Keep your fucking mouth shut.
Right.
This is the conversation that happens between you and a couple of your close peers, and you discuss it amongst one another. When, in my opinion, when you put that out in the fucking world,
and it's all bullshit. It's just.
But is it? That's the problem. That's the problem.
I'm like, how small is your clientele, though? What are you doing?
But dude, I
10
know
tattoos a year.
I know it affects mine because I had a guy recently got in on a cancellation last minute, which by the way happens all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that my schedule was open. Got in the day before, and he was at a barbecue, and he was bragging about having gotten an appointment with me, and everybody's like, "How did you get in with Joe? Joe's booked way out. Joe's this, Joe's that. Joe's super expensive." And he's like, "No."
Like, how do you break out of that?
Exactly. And a lot of the artists, I'm not going to say who they are. The first thing they say is, "Well, I don't want to talk about how slow I am."
Right.
And I'm like, you do realize if you don't put that out there.
Yeah,
then nobody's ever going to know. And again, I've had artists.
And it's hard, especially what if you have a client flying in for 3 days and they're thinking they're going to get this a lot of work done, and then it's not. Right. And then you're charged. Yeah.
Well, I would never do that. Like, I mean,
right.
I've had.
But like you see that happen, and you're just like, how do you keep that client?
Yeah. Well, I often wonder how many of these people are. They're one and done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see a lot of these collectors that pay these huge day rates.
Yeah.
And you know they're going to get that one from him.
Right.
They're going to get that one from him.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Some
they're just
collections
collecting.
Are awesome. Yeah.
They're just collecting the artists. They're not going to that one guy because they want.
Right.
Unless it's someone getting a back piece or something.
But that's a bad thing to social media. Like, when I have a cancellation or something, I post it.
Right.
Because I know they're going to see this stupid fucking story before they see anything.
Right.
You know, and then my guys are like, "Oh, I don't have anything this week." I'm like, "Have you posted on anything on social media?" And they're like, "No." I'm like,
"No." See, again, my argument against that is the fact that I do it. I know people that are doing it.
Yeah. And it's still not getting tracked.
So I've said it's generational. If you haven't seen it, it's on my Instagram. I left it up there. I'm probably going to pin it up there. And it's basically talking about the fact that it's become generational, and it's affecting a lot of the older guys. It's not to say that the younger cats aren't being affected by it either.
Right.
But when you've been doing something for 30 years and all of a sudden you're told you're not going to be able to anymore, we said before, that's a bitter pill.
Right.
And a lot of what the reason why I bring this up is the amount of people that commented on that post and said, "Yeah, dude, been doing this for 25 years. I have nothing this entire week booked."
And so they are seeing your stuff. So like a lot of guys will argue like it's the algorithm or what you're putting out, because like sometimes you post a photo, it gets 10 comments, and then something stupid gets 580.
Oh, most certainly, yeah, ridiculous amount. Yeah, and that's the thing, is trying to figure
that out.
Like if I post a video of me drawing on the iPad.
Right.
It's going to get a lot more hits than if I posted a reel of just a piece or a couple of pieces for that day or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a legit crazy thing.
Yeah.
I think my issue with it is the fact that going to a convention and having real people go to a convention and making those connections would be amazing. Picking up a magazine and spending time looking through a magazine. I remember that used to be
how you found people.
Yeah.
I used to go every month to buy them.
I think it's that tactile, I have to go and do something. And not just be sitting on the toilet flipping through my fucking screen.
Right.
While I think it does work for many people, I think the worse things get, I think it's only going to get worse. And that's what freaks me out. I think so too,
because it's just the saturation is too much.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have money to spend. And then they're going to go to Joe Schmo's private studio, then get their $100 an hour tattoo.
So now that's the thing too, is a lot of the people I know that do the private studio, they're charging more than most street shops are.
Right, which I just don't fathom it, because like you're getting a very specific clientele at that point, because that means they're booking, they want no human contact until they're sitting in your chair.
Right.
So, but then at that point, you already know you're going to charge whatever, and they're going to pay it.
Right.
So, like, I wonder if they are talking about price and stuff ahead of time. Like, there's people in my area that charge way more than me.
Oh, same here.
And they're in a private. I'm like, how? Maybe the allure of being a private studio.
I've heard
you can only book online.
I've heard people say that. The argument I've heard from some that are knocking the people that aren't busy now is, well, you're probably in a private studio, or you probably just do one particular style.
That's a hard game. Well, back to the guys that are posting, they do $100,000 tattoos and driving Porsches. It's like, or you're just giving the illusion that you're that expensive, and then you're getting people because they think you're price is what determines your value?
Well, yeah, there is a lot of that. People have often said that you have to, because you had guys like
obviously
Russ.
You can't be like super cheap. You know what I mean? But like, it's crazy how people's brains, like the more you charge, the better they think you are.
Right.
Without even looking at anything.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I came up in a time where you didn't talk shit about that person. That's beginning to change with the way I think. When someone comes in and says, "Oh yeah, this piece cost me fucking $1,500," I'm like, "Really? Way overpaid for that." And they look at you like, "What?"
Right.
I'm like, "Dude, half of us in this shop can do that in half the amount of time, and probably would have just charged." I feel like
it's a salesman job almost now. You know.
Well, I think again, but when the salesman is when the purchaser is tricked into thinking,
because they're not looking at work.
Tag, they're looking at the price and the fact that it maybe can get done in one session.
Right.
You know, and because with us, we're going to do it in 2 sessions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we're probably still going to spend less time on it than that one session took.
Right.
So it's really, really difficult.
It's a weird game to play right now.
Yeah. Which is why I wanted to get your opinion.
And I am not as busy as I used to be. Like I used to be out like 3-4 months, you know, and you do hear a lot of the. It's like you have to have a persona online.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's what you were saying. So I've often, I did that video the other day, and it's me talking for real, like no bullshit. I'm standing in my backyard. Right. My hair's not even up. It's just like I'm home. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna try. But
you have to play it.
Here's my problem. I'm gonna do it in a snarky way. I'm gonna do it where it's not me play.
I feel like trends only last so long. So like you see the same video 100 other people have done. Just like the TikTok reels, like I cannot bring myself to do that.
How do you think that ages?
I don't know.
How do you think that ages when you look at somebody that you saw do that shit, and then 6 months later it's no longer a trend?
It's just like a circus show, you know?
Douche.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't bring myself to do it. I still want people to come because of work, not because my TikTok video got 8 million views. Yeah. No, that's a game.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, it's just I don't.
It's frustrating. I play the game a little bit too because I do make reels and I post stories. Yeah. I am playing the game. I'm just not fully committed to the carnival show. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, I don't want to get too down on everything. So, basically, what I'm going to put all your information in the in the thing. Is there anything that you want to get out there that you feel you definitely need to say or?
No, pretty happy over here.
You're pretty happy the way it turned out?
I mean, cool. Yeah, it's always fun to shoot the shit.
That's, to be honest, that was the whole point of this. It was like, it's not so much about, because everybody's just, it's great that you put in like the history down. I'm like, no, this is just artists talking.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I mean, generational wise too, like we're from separate, same state, but like, I remember when you worked at Darkside. My first boyfriend was Kirby's kid.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That's how I used to hang out at Darkside all the time.
Yeah. Well, again, that's part of the thing with Dark. I mean, that's why when I came to Connecticut, you know.
See, when you guys opened on
Chapel.
Yeah. Remember, God, that's when you guys would send postcards, and we would put in the calendar. You guys are having an art show.
It's it's funny. Like
the whole shop would come up.
We still kind of try to do that, but when we moved here, it just changed, and I blame it on our location. But in all honesty,
because you're not downtown.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I don't think it's the location. I think it's just everybody's changed. Older, like people like you have more going on now than you did then.
True.
A lot of back then in Connecticut, I was unaware of anybody who did anything like that. That was a New York thing. Yeah. That was a Boston thing. It wasn't really a Connecticut thing.
Yeah, we always looked forward to it. That was
I looked forward to bringing all those artists in and just just having everybody come and enjoy something. Right. You know. But so I don't know. Again, I think part of it is location, but I think a lot of it is just the mindset of individuals.
It's hard that everything is online.
Yeah.
It's not word of mouth as much as
Exactly.
But that is the benefit to being, if you do stay somewhere, that is word of mouth.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, dude, we've been here, we've been in New Haven for 23 years. We've been in this location for 16, 17 years. Yeah. So, we can't say, I think the problem is we're the old guys. Yeah. Like our shop is the old shop.
But even like I'm on social media all the time. I feel like your stuff never pops up.
Yeah, but again, it's not for lack of trying.
Right, exactly. So like, I don't know the linguine or like how to figure that shit out.
I've talked to people. We had a couple of cats in here one from Rhode Island, one from Vegas, and they were like, "Yeah, man, when I moved to Rhode Island, I got not blacklisted. What they call it?"
So I feel like that happened to me on social media. Like no one was seeing my stuff, but I was like posting political memes and like being, stuff that nobody wanted to see, but I just couldn't help it.
Yeah, right.
But then, your stuff starts to not get seen, or they start to cut you off. I mean, I don't know how all that shit works.
Oh, and therein lies the problem. That's why I think, as a trade, as a fucking industry, we need something else. Like we need to somebody.
Well, then don't they say like it's time for something new? Instagram's about to die out.
Well, the thing that gets me is
so now it's all videos.
Well, the thing that bothers me with our business is the fact that there's guys in this business, suppliers to be exact, that made millions. Somebody can set up some kind of a forum, like the old Ink Nation days, whatever. Yeah. I understand how much more difficult that is to do now and how much more expensive it is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be a dick. You owe it to the business.
Right.
You as a supplier, you owe something to this business. You need to give something back and not just fucking take.
Right.
Your idea of offering a new fucking pen is just not enough.
Right.
Do something that everybody is going to benefit from, that they don't have to purchase. I mean, and the worst part about that whole thing is, if you set up a network like that and charge people to do it, you're going to make money off of it. But at least it would be something that was positive.
Like I worked in Chicago, and Big C, they're working on that app. It's kind of like Tinder for tattoo artists.
So
which I think is a great idea.
I hope you do, because I'm about to drop. Ours is in beta right now.
You'd have to get that traction. Yeah, you have to have enough people.
Well, so we're doing. Because
you do have to play on the people that just want to be on their phone. That's everybody.
Well, the app that we're creating is just that. It's basically the artist will have to purchase the app for 1 year.
Right.
Clients get it for free.
I think it's a great idea.
Well, I'm going to come up and see you in about because we've got a couple of bugs that they're trying to work out, and then I'm going to start going shop to shop.
Everybody just wants to be. They don't want to actually talk to you. Right. They want to do it all online, all on their phone.
Exactly. So, well, like I said, we're working on something like that.
Yeah,
we are not being the elitists that some of those other apps are doing. Ours is for regular people as well as rock stars.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So, but we're going to drop that.
I think that's a direction it has to kind of go in.
Yeah. Keep an eye out for Tattoo Drop.
No, that's exciting.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think that something just needs to come back our way, and it's unfortunately us as tattooers, we don't have the money or that much of a a presence that we can pull something like that off. But some of these corporations most certainly
could back. Yeah, for sure.
Most of them can. So, all right. Well, again, thank you so very much. Hey, everybody! Thank you for joining another episode. Please like and subscribe, spread the word, and I'll see you when I see you. Thanks again.